about a patient that he was 32-year-old. He's Pakistani engineer. When he had an anterior myocardial infarction, and at that time there were no primary PCI. You know, the first paper of primary PCI published in March of 1993 by Cindy Grine. So he did receive thrombolytic and treated conservatively. After that, he continued to get some chest pain and shortness of breath. So 6 months later, he did receive a coronary angiogram. This was at one of the Gulf states, and that's documented that he did have proximal ostial CTO. So he continued to complain of this complaint, received some medical therapy, and went back to his home country, Pakistan, and back to the Gulf state where he's working. And someone offered him to do intervention. They did just a tiny trial to open the CTO, and all of them failed. Continued to receive medical therapy. Someone recommended to do vital study, and the area was vital. Later, he did develop TIA, and an echo was done and showed a thrombus at the apex of the LV, and he received also treatment with anticoagulation. Continued to complain of these symptoms, mainly shortness of breath, rather of chest pain. Another attempts, third attempts, some attempt in Pakistan, but all of them failed. So during the COVID, he did lost his job in that Gulf state, and 2 years later, he moved to the UAE for a new job. And at that time, I showed him, I did see him in October of 2022, and I reviewed all the films of the previous intervention, and I did offer him a trial to open that. But he did, really, he was so frustrated and gave up after all of those. It took me about 3 months to persuade him to get a coronary angiogram and try to open that. So this is an ad hoc, just to do an angiogram and just proceed. Otherwise, the patient will escape. So this is the angiogram, and that showed ostial CTO in the LAD with bridging collateral. Let me show you, this is the angiogram, and it's clear here. And this is the other view in the RAO cranial, and you see there is now some tiny flow, and this is go to the diagonal, and this is the angiogram. You see that in the cranial view. And this is in the caudal view, and you see there is nothing going from the osteo of the LAD. There is ramus and circumflex. So this is the angiogram, and this is in the caudal view. You see there is multiple channels. We don't know where is this LAD originating from, and the cardiologists that tried that intervention, they tried here, and could not go into those channels. So this is the angiogram, and this is the another angiogram in the spider view. And with that, so this is now the angiogram from the right, and you see the collateral going to the apex and the very distal part of the LAD, but there is no place to do bypass surgery to put graft, and there is no septals to go retrograde. Probably Dr. Hussam say he can do it from the septals, but I can't do it myself, retrograde. So this is the collateral, and this is the angiogram if you want to see that. And you see there is calcification at the apex where there were thrombus. You see the calcification at the apex of the LV somewhere here. Okay. So this is the CTO intervention. The way that I try to do is to do retrograde IVUS, guided puncture of the proximal cap of the ostial CTO. When I put the wire, you see that I put the wire in the ramus, and this is I put the IVUS catheter through on that wire, and this is the other operator pulled the whole system back in order to see where is the ostium of the LAD. And you see when we pulled back, this is the wire of the IVUS catheter, and this is the other wire to cross that. You see that this is my other wires. This is if you want to see the IVUS, now I'm pulling back from the ramus, And then we see that wire. This I go to fix. This is the occluded LAD, and this is the circumflex. And now, when we found this, the other wire, we did the puncture here. You see now the wire. This is the wire. We punctured the ostium of the LAD, and you see this the wire. Puncturing the ostium of the LAD with the support just of and over the wire balloon. And you see then we were able to cross, and this wire went, and this is the end of the wire and knuckling of the wire. And this is with the, if you want to see live crossing with the support of the over the wire balloon. And then when we cross, you see now this is the origin. The origin just at true trifurcation. The origin just very close to that ramus.
For okay. 2 minutes, huh?
Yeah, just 2 minutes. That's fine. You see now the wire is in the diagonal, and we are crossed here, and then we have to divert the wire. We diverted the wire to the LAD. Now, with that's simple. Now we do dilation of the LAD, dilation of the LAD with small balloon, and this was a larger balloon. And even when we dilated the LAD with the larger balloon, look, we are not filling the distal LAD. This is negative remodeling of the distal LAD after 31-year-old of closure. So we have to do forced dilation of the distal LAD. So I did forced dilation of the distal LAD. With that, we got good flow to the distal LAD. Okay, here we are. And now the remaining is simple. So now I would like to show you the IVUS. This is the IVUS at the distal part. We are in the true lumen. And this is at the proximal part. We are a little bit subintimal. And then we are back in true lumen in the off-cell LAD. And this is in the left main. There appears to be some mild hematoma around the left main. And we did angioplasty to the diagonal, and after the angioplasty of the diagonal, we got good result, and we stented the LAD, and this is stented the LAD, and after the stent, we see this is the final result. We did now IVUS to the LAD stent. It's well opposed. Just at the proximal part, there is malopposition, so we did POT of that, and this is final result, and we got good result, and this is the angiogram. Okay, if you want to see that, the angiogram, this is in the cranial, and this is the caudal view, and this is no major malopposition. So we got successful opening of LAD after documented 31-year-old of closure. So shall we publish that, or just go to Guinness result and report that to Guinness? Thank you very much.